Hey, it's Joe, and I've got another great tip just for you. Actually, it's not a tip as much as it is a question. And that question is trust a right or is it a privilege? So, what I mean by that is that one of the central themes that most people struggle with, or most women struggle with in their dating and their relationships, revolves around this thing called trust. Because there are situations where a guy does some things and he gives you some signs that he's trustworthy, but then there are these other things going on which make you go, that's when your gut is saying something's not right here. But what most people do is they sit back and they ignore those things, or they don't want to see them, or they don't deal with them. The reason being because if we really looked at them and we really started digging around and asking questions, we might find the answers that we're not looking for or that we don't want to hear. So trust and trusting the person that you're going to be in a relationship with is absolutely 100% essential. It must be there. You cannot, will not ever have the type of happy, fulfilling, and successful relationship you desire and that you deserve if you cannot trust a man. So I'm going to let you figure out whether you think it's a right or a privilege, but I'm going to tell you what I think and feel. And again, you just try it on and see if it fits for you. What I believe is that trust isn't a right. It's a privilege. Okay? A person earns the ability to show you that they're trustworthy. Now, I'm not saying that you should sit back and be jaded and guarded and not trust anyone, because you'll never get to where you want to go. You'll never have the quality of relationships that you're really looking for. But when you realize that you're smart enough to figure things out, you're smart enough to see what's right in front of you, you simply can sit back and realize that trust is a privilege that must be earned. So what I mean by that is that if you're dating a guy or you're in a relationship with a guy, is don't just take it for granted that he's trustworthy. Because the reality is there are a lot of dirtbags. There are a lot of, I'm not going to say it, but you know what I'm talking about. There are a lot of guys out there who will say one thing, tell you exactly what you want to hear, just so they can get in your pants, and then completely do the opposite. Okay? And so a man has to earn your trust. Therefore, it's a privilege. He has to show you that he's trustworthy. And how does he do that? Very simply. By consistently, and I'm going to say this word again, by consistently showing you with his words and with his actions that he's trustworthy. Doesn't mean he's not going to slip up. We're all human. We're going to make mistakes. But the key is that when he does make mistakes, is that he takes ownership of it. He shows you that he's not going to make excuses. He's not vague. He doesn't turn around and turn it on you. You know, all those things that guys do, okay? The reality is a guy who's trustworthy will show you consistently that he is, and he'll do that by his words and his actions. So here's a little homework assignment for you. I want you to decide for yourself from this point out if you feel that your trust is a right, that you're just going to give it away to everybody, or a privilege that a guy must earn. Because I'm sure that you're going to see is that when you decide to make it a privilege and make him earn that trust, your dating and your relationships are going to become much easier because he's either going to do it or he's not. As always, I hope this helps. If you know anyone who can benefit from this, someone who's, dating one of those guys right now who's really not trustworthy and is showing her, you might want to pass it along to her. It might be exactly what she needs to make a better choice for herself. I'll see you next time. God bless.